I think it's really hard to keep some of that stuff a secret. I mean, like, at the same time, like, if they're telling us about, here's what we've done, and they're okay sharing the information, we made dire wolves.
Right.
What have you tried to make that didn't work? Or what have you made that you're like, great job in making this team? We can't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we brought back land sharks, right? Or street sharks. You're like, what? You're like, yeah, we crossed bodybuilders and sharks. Street sharks. It's awesome. There you go.
We're set.
You set?
We're set. I think snot's out.
Snots out, toothpicks in,
We're ready to go.
legs crossed, ready to rock and roll.
That's all I need.
And ready to rock
Gotta
out
get
with
my
the
eye
caca.
boogers. Slept hard last night.
Yeah, well, you drove a lot.
Yeah, we drove a ton, dude.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, we just drove a ton. Drove all over. Drove down to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And
So what beach were you guys at?
it's a great question.
You know, you
Johnson Beach.
Johnson Beach. Okay.
Johnson Beach is where we went, and it was just outside of Pensacola.
Mm-hmm.
So like Pensacola is this little peninsula
Yeah.
stretch of sand, right? And then there's a little bit of water, and then there's another little stretch of sand, and that's Johnson Beach.
Gotcha.
And Paradito, I don't know if it's Paradito Beach or Paradito City, something. It could be Paradito. I don't know what it is. Ditum. That's where we stayed.
Gotcha.
That's where we. That's where the Airbnb was. That's
Cool.
where we hung out, and it was a wonderful week. Wonderful week. Lots of driving. I mean, drive down there wasn't bad. It was only 6 hours, 7 hours, something like that.
Did you go a different way home?
We didn't.
Oh.
Came back the same way, but
Gotcha.
when we were down there, we drove. Like Steph wanted to go over to Destin.
Yeah, Destin Beach.
Destin Beach.
Yeah,
So we
super
went over
beautiful.
there and had dinner at this fun restaurant called, I'm going to get it wrong, because I thought it was Fuddruckers. Did you ever remember a restaurant named Fuddruckers, right, with the hamburgers?
Like Fuddruckers, you mean...
This place is called, I think, Fudd...
Chuckers?
No, it's terrible. I can't remember. Fudd Packers. But
Florida Man.
That's
Florida Man.
Florida Man.
What is it called?
What, right?
In the comments. What
It's
is
a
it?
super well-known restaurant. It's a big deal. But we went there and ate. It was great. It was fun. They had like the alligators and the stuff
Okay.
out front and all that jazz.
Did you wrestle an alligator?
I did not. I wanted to.
Yeah.
I was really looking for an alligator to wrestle.
Do you think that you could like calmly hang out with alligators?
Like in what fashion? Like I'm not interested in spending time with them.
No.
But like if we're out,
Would you like get in the water with some alligators?
I would definitely not get into the water with some alligators.
No.
I wouldn't mind being on land with some alligators.
I feel like you got the...
Like I can definitely see what's going on, right? But underwater, no. I mean, why would you get in water with an alligator?
know.
No.
I don't think alligators attack. I think, do they attack in water?
I don't know. That's the whole thing, is I'm not interested in finding out.
Okay. Solid point.
These were little baby alligators too.
Oh.
The kind that they pull out and let you pet, but we didn't do any of that.
You didn't pet an alligator?
No, we were too busy eating.
Oh, alligator.
I did have some alligator.
Right? What'd you think?
Some alligator balls.
Yeah, what'd you think?
It was good.
It's not bad, right?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. But we did that on the first day. So we did beach and then Destin. And then the second day that we were down there, like the second full day, we drove over to New Orleans. And that was about a 3.5 hour drive.
Awesome.
So went through, Mississippi and
Alabama
and
Florida.
Yeah.
Louisiana.
And then Louisiana. So
Those are the 4 states.
all those southern states right there, which was cool. It
Yeah.
was fun. We had never been over there.
It's interesting. So did you guys take the 10 over?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's interesting in some of those parts of Louisiana where you're just going and you're just in the swamps, right? And it's just, there's a road that's elevated above the water.
Barely, yeah.
Right? And it's just going and there's trees, there's nothing else.
Yeah.
And you're like, and there's like, man, if I broke down right here, like,
You're done.
Yeah.
It's the never ending story. You're going to sink back into the pit. Like it's totally just a nightmare. It was really cool. Like that was one thing that was fun, is we had never been through like I've traveled all over the country, but that section of the country, like kind of the deep south in a sense. I mean, that's the southernest, southeast part of.
When you go to a gas station and there's like, when you're at a gas station and it's like, here's the candy bars and the little metal trucks that kids can buy, and then like the little toys, and then the preserved alligator heads, right, on the same shelf that are like just the head, and it's like. That's when you know you're in the deep south.
It was fun, though.
Yeah.
New Orleans was interesting.
Did you guys go to Bourbon Street?
We did. We did like the Bourbon Street, French Quarter.
Okay.
We basically just parked down there and walked around for a few hours and explored and had some food. And they were getting set up for some sort of big festival that weekend. So it was pretty busy.
I think that's like every weekend.
I know, right?
What are you doing this weekend?
We got a festival
coming up. Oh, shit. Like last weekend? And next weekend? Yes.
Yeah. Lots of street performers, lots of live music out there, which is cool. Yeah. Have you ever been down there?
I have been there. I don't 100% remember it. When I was stationed in Pensacola, it was Mardi Gras, and somebody was like, hey, why don't we go to New Orleans? And I was like, I think that's outside of our, like, the area. I think it was actually off limits to us.
Yeah.
They're like, no, you can't do that. And I was like, he's like, well, I'm going to rent a car, and I'm going. And if you want to go, you can go. And I was like, all right. I might have had some road sodas on the way there.
Couple.
And I don't 100% remember everything that happened.
Were you there during Mardi Gras?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I don't think I could do it. I mean, I could do it. Like we talked about it too.
You can do anything.
Of course, right? But it's
you can do anything I can do.
I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
Like the level of
discomfort.
Yeah, stuff that is happening.
Yeah.
It's just a complete, like all of my senses were on fire.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but just like very
on edge.
Alert.
Yes.
Of what was going on. The smells, the sounds, the people.
Right. Good smells.
It was a lot of fun. Lots of good smells. It's a very smelly, beautiful town.
I do remember that.
Yeah. Lots of wonderful smells.
Yeah. We're actually going to. I just agreed to this for Lincoln, not for Lincoln's birthday, but in the middle of May, we're going to New Orleans.
Okay.
Jamie is going to be
Lincoln's birthday.
No, yeah, we're taking my 10-year-old to Mardi Gras. No, we're taking. Jamie's going to do a weightlifting competition.
Oh, nice.
So it's the Pan American Championship for Masters weightlifting. So she's going to go do that. She just registered, I believe. And it's like that weekend, May, whatever, 17th or something in that range.
Yeah.
So it's not the 17th. It's like the 20th. But she asked, like, hey, can we go do this? I was like, yeah, sure, I don't care. So we're going to go to New Orleans.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
You guys just drive down.
To do. Yeah, it's not. It's
like 8 hours.
Yeah, 8 hours from here. I think it'll be super fun. It'll be definitely different than the last time I was there.
I think so.
I hope, maybe.
Right?
We'll see. I'll let you know. Yeah, New Orleans is cool. So you guys got down to Johnson
Yes.
Beach, checked out Destin, went to New Orleans.
And then came home the next day.
Yeah, awesome. Did you like, what was it walking around looking at things? Was there a lot of time just relaxing on the beach?
We spent a whole day on the beach. Like that was kind of like the whole purpose, not the whole purpose, but like that was a real big deal was to be able to just go and do nothing.
Yeah.
And so we spent whatever that would have been like. I think it was our actual anniversary, Tuesday.
So let's pause. The purpose of your Florida Man trip was
10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary.
Yeah, 10 years, man.
Right? That is awesome.
So we wanted to go and just relax and kind of not have anything to do.
Yeah.
And so we spent that first day on the beach, which was incredible. I told like the Blue Angels.
Yeah.
Did you see some of that on social? That was super cool. Like I had no idea that that's their training ground down there. And it just turned out to where they were like the 2 days that we were down there were the days that they were out doing their stuff. And so we literally get to the beach and we kind of get set up.
And all of a sudden,
and then next thing you know, here they come.
Yep.
And they fly around for like the next hour doing all their stuff. And that was way cool. That was fun to watch.
Yeah. It's, I'm really glad that you got a chance to see that and that you enjoyed it.
When you're down there a lot, it's
when you live there, and like you're out talking and you're like, hey, so, and you're like,
It gets a little old.
Gets a little old.
I used to when I lived in Utah, in my first marriage, I lived in a town called Layton that was just south of Hill Air Force Base. Yeah. And same thing.
Yep.
It was very common to experience them there. But the angels were cool. Like literally, dude, within, like we got all of our stuff set up, kind of, okay, we're at the beach now, and we're kind of just standing there, and 5 minutes later, dolphins go swimming by.
Oh my God, really? Oh God. As I was driving here, I was like,
yeah.
Where are the dolphins?
It was cool as fuck. So all day long, dolphins were there.
That's awesome.
It was just like the first time they showed up.
Did you get in the water?
I sure did.
Did you swim out to them?
Like as soon as they showed up, I'm like, baby, I love you. Bye.
Yeah. I just go, happy anniversary. High five. I gotta go. The dolphins are calling.
Yeah.
Poor piston.
So got out there and, probably 20, 30 yards out.
Okay.
But literally it was like all day. We were hanging out on the beach, or if I was in the water, just, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Pods?
I don't know. Pods. Like what's considered a pod? We had this conversation on the way home. Like, is it more
than 3?
Right.
Otherwise it's not a pod. It's a dose.
Right. It's a trio.
That'd be 3.
A couple of thruples.
That's
right.
A dolphin thruple.
A dolphin thruple swam by a couple of times. But that was really cool. It was super fun.
Dolphin thruple. So I mean, it's a dolphin, and then dolphi, right, which is 2, and then the thruple, the druple,
the
druple, and then a pod,
yeah. So a couple of pods swam by all day long, and it was like, I mean, the water it wasn't as warm as I would have liked it, but it was definitely, because all the other times that I've been in the ocean, it's the Pacific, and it's not warm there.
Normally not.
Yeah. So it was great, and it was nice, and it was peaceful, and it was just like able to sit out there and be in the water. Got to relax on the beach a bunch. Got to do some meditation. Just like, so stress relieving.
That's good.
Which is really, really nice. Got a crazy ass sunburn.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
That'll happen. Did you use sunscreen at all? I didn't. That'd be weird.
I'm anti-sunscreen.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it the, what's in sunscreen that's bad?
I'm sure there's something. That's the problem, right? I'm sure there's tons of stuff that's in sunscreen, and I'm putting it on the biggest organ in my body. No.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that anymore. And I believe that the sun is actually beneficial for us.
Yeah, totally.
So I just burn.
But when you're not ever in the sun.
Right. That's the problem. You got to get in the sun more.
Get some of that vitamin D.
Mm-hmm.
I hear it's really important. Yeah. I mean, I got a sunburn the other day. I was cutting the grass. Got a sunburn. Like came in and I was like, oh, look at that. I don't really, do you burn?
Not typically.
No.
Because I got my Mexican blood in me.
Yeah.
Usually I do pretty, I might get a little bit of a burn, and then it just tans right up. And but this one was like, we were out there for a pretty solid couple of hours.
Yeah.
I had done a bunch of prep work leading up to it with the yard work and stuff. So
gotcha. Okay. I was like, what's prep work?
Just standing in the sun.
He's just out there white knuckling. Oh, fuck you, son.
They did 12 hours on each side.
You just stare into the sun. Oh, God.
No, I did a couple of days leading up to it. So I got a nice little base coat, which probably helped a lot and saved me in the long run, because by the time we got back to... That day was like, we got done at the beach, and then that's when we drove over to Destin, which was like 2.5 hours from where we were at, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, because it's not there's not really like a highway.
No.
It's like a divided kind of,
Yeah. There's not a lot of highways in Florida, at least this part. It was just
there's really only like...
I mean, there's that I-10 that we finally got on to go over to New Orleans.
But that's really, I mean, that goes all the way to Texas.
Yeah.
Right? And then you've got the 77, which I think it's the 70. 75 goes down to Tampa, I think, because you guys took 75 down.
No, we did. We went down through Alabama.
Gotcha. Okay.
So whatever that thing is.
Yeah. So the 59.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then to the... I don't know. I've done that trip.
Yeah,
it sucks. There's not a lot of highways there, but so you got a bit of sunburn.
Yeah, that was it was like.
Did Steph burn?
She got a little bit. She puts on sunscreen. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
weird.
I know it's weird. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know how it all works out that way, but whatever.
I hear olive oil, real good.
Yeah.
It's a natural sunscreen.
Protects, right? Just a layer of protection on top of everything. But what was nice was that it wasn't like the following day was a little rough going over to New Orleans, but it wasn't too bad. I survived.
What was it? The dry?
Just the sunburn.
Just the sun. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It was one of those.
So you had a burn.
Yeah. By the time we got back to the hotel, the day of the beach, and like took a shower, I got out of the shower, and Steph has like a magic goop that she creates with like lavender oil and
not sunscreen,
all sorts of different stuff. Not sunscreen. Yeah. I'll put on. I'm happily apply all of that stuff, but not
happily
sunscreen.
Apply the sunburn remedy.
Yes.
Not the preventative.
Not the sunscreen. No, I'm not interested in the sunscreen.
Yeah,
I don't know. It all makes sense in my brain.
It totally does.
And so
you want to make sure you can absorb as much D as you can, right? It's all about how much D can you get.
And that helped. But then I was like in a fever dream where it was laying in bed like shivering and like she couldn't touch me. I was just like, don't move.
Fucking burn.
Yeah, it was terrible. Wake up in the middle of the night and like the fever broke and I was like, where's the AC? I turned the AC on. I'm dying.
Oh man.
But
yeah, that's I don't know what it is. I don't burn really, so I will definitely get red. Right, I have had a few times where it's like, yeah, fuck that up. Like, I went a little too hard with that, and that's a little red. Where like if you put your arm over your head in bed, like the skin folding is a little tender, but for the most part, I mean, I'll go like super red and not even lobstery, but like, hey, there's a sunburn there. And I feel like the next day or the next 2 days, it's tan. And then I'm good. No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'll be good the rest of the summer.
Yeah.
So as long as I keep it up. So
yeah. Are you going to like start cutting the grass with no shirt on?
All the time.
All the time?
Yeah. I love it. It's my jam.
I don't cut the grass without a shirt on.
Yeah.
But I'm on a tractor. Safety.
For safety reasons.
Safety reasons.
We ate great food.
Yeah.
We ate a lot of, it was interesting too, because normally we haven't done a trip like this in a really long time. And we were reflecting back on it. It's like back in the day, we used to get all the junk food, all the garbage. And just like the week was full of like snacks and this, that, and the other. And we didn't do that this time, but we did enjoy the meals that we did have. And so it was like every night I was just like, oh God.
I ate a lot.
But it was good still.
That's good. That's good. That's super fun. I'm really glad that you guys had a good time with that.
Yeah.
And
it was needed.
Yeah. I mean, and I think just the idea of like that intentional alone time, right? That intentional, like, we're going to go do something, not because it's like something we have to do, right? Like I know that, for me, like some of the trips that me and Jamie have gone on have been work trips for like our end of the year President's Club or whatever for the sales team. And yeah, it's great. But Jamie's like, you're working.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I mean, kind of. And she's like, you have things to say. You have to, you can't just like, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm going to sleep in my room all day or like leave everybody. Like you have to do the activities with the team members and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So it's, but I think it's awesome.
Have you guys done like just the two of you with nothing trip in a while? Or ever even?
I don't know if we've ever done anything with no reason. Because I mean, it's hard. Like we do a lot of trips that have reasons, right? Like, hey, there's a wedding. So we're going to go do that. Or there'll be, and I mean, we enjoy it. Like, that's the hard part is like, I remember we did this a couple years ago when we were living in San Diego. We went to a wedding in Ambler, Pennsylvania, just north of Philly, outside of King Prussia.
Okay.
Right.
The great state or the great city of Ambler.
Yeah, the great city of Ambler, which is funny because we have been there numerous times now. One of Jamie's friends lives there now. But like we showed up, we flew in, we rented a car, and like I love traveling with my wife. We enjoy our time together. So I don't know if it's because we enjoy just spending time together and traveling and doing that stuff. Like we just enjoy that so much, right? So it's like, cool. Yeah, we took off on Friday and then we flew here. We hung out, we putzed around. We're like, Jamie, it was funny because when we did that trip, we are we're very happy when we're doing things together, but we understand that sometimes you gotta, like, things you go apart and things. Mm-hmm. Like she was in I don't remember if she was a maid of honor or like she was in the wedding.
Okay.
And I was not, right? And I was like, whatever. I don't care. And the day of the wedding, they had to do all the prep, right? Like getting the hair and the makeup and the dresses and all the, my God, right? I think that's what they do.
I think that's what they do.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a couple of hours of just that.
Yeah, but she was like, what are you going to do? I was like, I don't know. I went and saw fucking Infinity Wars, right? Like, I was like, I'll go to the fucking movie. And she's like, you're just going to go to the movies? I was like, you're going to be gone for like 6 hours? I was like, there's a really nice movie theater where I can get a beverage, have some wings, 30 minutes that way. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go do that.
Yeah,
but and I'm probably Jamie. She's gonna hear this and be like, we did this and we went there, and here's the 7 things the times that we've gone and done. I just can't think of any off the top of my head. But we travel a lot to go do the things that we're trying to do, and we just enjoy the shit out of that, right?
It's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
Like Steph and I used to do it all that. We would have a trip in the springtime because it usually was in conjunction with our anniversary.
Yeah.
And then we would do something in the fall. And it was like specifically like, these are our trips. We're going just the 2 of us for the intent and purpose of just us.
Yeah.
No kids, nothing like that. And I love it. Like they're so incredible. And since we were looking back as we were, this week we were kind of reflecting back on it all. And it was like, I thought the last time we had done something was 2018. But we had done just a quick weekend one in, I think, 22 or something like that. But I like an extended, give me at least 4 days, right?
Yeah.
To really, because it almost feels like it's like the first day I have to disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
Like I realized that driving down, even when we got there, because we got there in the evening time and went and walked down on the beach a little bit and stuff. And I was having a hard time just kind of turning off.
Well, I think, turning off or settling in, right? Because now I'm going to guess based on what I know of you and how the similarities that we have in this, when I'm somewhere new, I'm absorbing all this information and all right, where are we at with this? So I'm getting comfortable in the location that we're staying in. I'm understanding the layout of the area. I'm keeping my eyes out, right? I'm not really relaxed. Mm-hmm. But like you said, it's not until that second or third day where you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Right? You get to relax a little bit more.
Yeah. So we're hoping to do something else in the fall. We haven't decided what, but it's like we don't have any reason not to anymore, It used to be a challenge with the kids and trying to find somebody.
Fuck those
to
guys,
watch
right?
Right.
Go do your thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now
I'm trying to convince Jamie the same thing. Lincoln's totally old enough to watch them for a weekend.
He's totally old enough, right? Yeah. Put the dogs in charge. It'll be fine.
Right? Yeah. I think that's fun. I definitely want to plan. I would love to plan not just some family vacations, but definitely some getaways for us. And I really... we've done camping, but that wasn't just a me and Jamie thing.
Yeah, put it on the calendar.
Yeah.
Surprise her with something. That'd be fun.
Oh.
The wife's like surprises.
Yeah? You met Jamie?
Does she not? Is she not a fan of
she doesn't mind surprises. It would have to be I couldn't just be I surprised her once when I planned our wedding and then told her about it.
Didn't go so
It didn't go well at all. When I was like, hey, guess what? We're getting married in 3 weeks. And she's like, what? Yeah, your sisters will be here tomorrow to help you buy a dress. What? I love you.
It all worked out in the end.
It did all work out in the end. Here we are, 9 years later. Yeah, our 9th anniversary, because you guys are 1 year ahead of us. Fuckers. We've got our 9-year anniversary coming up. Unfortunately, May, I don't know. I'm kind of a schmutz. I'm a bit of a schmuck in this year because I'm starting a new job.
Yeah.
And that is going to take a lot of my time and stuff. I haven't even started yet. And I got the calendar invite like, hey, you're going to be in Denver on May 7th and 8th. And
that's the anniversary.
That's Jimmy's birthday.
Oh.
And I have, unfortunately for me, for the last like 5 years, May has always been a really busy travel time for me. Other than last year, I think I've missed Lincoln's birthday like twice.
Yeah.
I almost missed it in 2022.
Is Lincoln's birthday in May too?
Yeah. So for me, May's is the busy month for me. It's the most expensive month of the year.
Okay.
Because it's Mother's Day and then it's Jamie's birthday. And they're pretty close. They're pretty close, right? And then it's our anniversary and then Lincoln's birthday. Our anniversary is the 15th and Lincoln's birthday is the 17th. So it's like...
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks for you, right?
Yeah, 100%. I have already started, like, I've been buying things because I have all these things that have to happen. Like, all right, I need a Mother's Day gift, I need a birthday gift, and I need a anniversary gift. And then I need to get something for Lincoln, right? Like, hey, I didn't smack you today. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Steph's birthday's in May as well.
Yeah.
And so is Asher's.
Yeah.
And so that's cool. I didn't realize that Lincoln's was in May as well.
Right.
Little synchronicity there.
We're going to take him to Bourbon Street. Like, kid, this is how you get beads. This is why beads are important, kid. Right? He's like, this is the best day of my life. Yeah. So, but if I think I could get away if I was like, hey, this weekend we're going to go do something and I'm going to plan it. I would say this is why I can't do these things, or why, let me remove that word, can't. This is why it is more difficult for me, or it's just difficult. Yeah. I guess it's really more difficult.
Sometimes it is more difficult.
More difficult. It's more better. It's difficult because I would have to be like, hey, do you have anything going on this weekend? She'd be like, no. It's like, cool. We're going to do something. I'm not going to tell you. And I'm going to need this much money.
Yeah.
Right. And then I would have to hide my expenses or the expenses from her because she's smart and she'll figure all this stuff out. So the surprising is really hard.
Yeah.
Because then if I'm like, hey, I need $1,000 for this whole like 3-day thing that we're going to do with all this stuff. She's like, no, we're not doing that. And then if I was like, well, hey, we're going to go do this, this, and this. She'd be like, okay, well, that's fine. You know, but just like, hey, I need $1,000. She'd be like, no.
You could do it. You could figure it out.
I'm going to do it.
Just totally like out of nowhere surprise her.
Well, if she hears this, she might not be so surprised.
Jamie, don't listen.
Don't listen to this.
Turn off the podcast.
La, 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 la. We're going to go to...
Me.
Maybe I'll try and give that a shot.
I love it. That's what I used to do all the time.
Yeah.
Is I would plan these little trips for us and surprise her with stuff. And she might know like where we're going, but then there would always kind of be something in conjunction with it that was a big surprise or something like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I surprise her occasionally like, hey, do you want to go to Franklin, Tennessee with me to go buy some ATV wheels? And she's like, no. And I'm like, so you don't want to go with me? All right, fine.
So how's things been going?
With
life, dude. Your life is in massive flux. It's
massive
flux city.
So March 31st was my last day at my last company. I decided it was time to part ways. I mean, in all honesty, like nothing, I try not to look at anything with regrets, because I have no regrets.
Right.
Not a single letter. But I was there for 6 years. I mean, across the startup that I was with, and then when that got acquired by the PE-backed company, I worked my way up from like sales. I mean, I think I was a solutions consultant to like account executive to team lead to director to vice president of sales. So I had a tremendous growth, right? I learned a ton. All that was great. It's in the industry, it was in the fitness industry obviously I love, but it just no longer aligned with what I believe to be my path.
Yeah.
And so I decided to step away. I was super nice. I mean, I gave like 6 weeks notice. I was like, hey, I don't want you to like, I didn't want my team to like feel the pain. So I tried to offer as much help as I could. And I worked all the way up to my last day. So, I mean, March 31st, I was updating my boss like, hey, here's how we're closing out the quarter. Here's how we close out the month. Close out the quarter with 107.96% sales attainment.
Nice.
Fuck yeah. Way to go, team. So that was great.
Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Woolly. Most fabrics today are packed with synthetic materials and microplastics that shed off into the environment as well as into your skin.
And that's why we love Woolly, because their gear is made with natural merino wool. No synthetics, no microplastics, just high performance, sustainable clothing that's going to keep you comfortable any season.
Woolly's merino wool is breathable, moisture wicking, and built to last. Plus, it's naturally odor resistant, which means you can wear it longer and wash it less.
And right now, Brave Men Dare listeners, and I'm talking about you guys, can get an extra 15% off. So check out the link down on the doobly-doo. Make sure you use that promo code BRAVE, all caps, when you're checking out of getting some of that fresh, high-quality woolly gear.
Woolly. More wool, less plastic.
And then that was a Monday, and then Tuesday I didn't do anything. And I was like, all right. It was hard because I put in notice with the hope that I was going to get one job, and because of a non-compete that didn't work out. So that was super stressful.
Yeah.
And then I started at another company before my last day. I mean, it wasn't like a big deal. I started onboarding on the 24th. And I really wasn't, I wasn't doing much my last week. Nobody was asking for I stopped getting invited to meetings, right? Nobody wanted my opinion. They're like, you're not going to be here next week. Like, we don't care what you think. So I started with one company. That wasn't a good fit. I think the company was doing great. Their goals and all that, it just wasn't a fit for me. Super young. I was the oldest guy in the company. I was like, it's very young company. I didn't understand. I thought the chief of staff was flirting with me because he called me king, and apparently that's how the kids talk these days. I didn't know. He's like, yeah, king, and I was like, what? I don't understand. Like, I just threw me around. I just didn't get it. But that didn't work out. So I, unfortunately, after a week, I was like, hey, I don't think this is going to be a good fit for me. And then we had a company I'd been interviewing with that I am now starting on Monday, the 14th. It's a company called eGym, and so they do premium fitness equipment sales, very high end. I mean, super like cool in what it is that they do.
Yeah.
Just imagine this, right? So you walk into a gym and you're like, what do I do, right? And you walk over and you check in, and your phone pops up, it's like, hey, go to this machine. And you sit down and you wave your wrist next to the machine. It registers that you're there. It automatically adjusts like the seat, the weights, the tension, and everything for you. So it's now
personalized,
calibrated for you. And then there's a display that's telling you what you're doing, and then is like, hey, you need to a little faster, right? Slow it down a little bit. We're going to make it, this is getting too easy. We're going to go a little heavier, right? And it's always adjusting. And then all these machines are connected so that it gives you this report like, here's how you're doing, right? So it's really taking technology and fitness and the idea of the equipment that you're using and combining them to give you the results that you're looking for, right? So
that's awesome.
It's super cool. I'm really excited about it. So I didn't have March 31st was, hey, my last day, I'm out. And then I didn't have an offer.
Yeah.
I had no official offer. So, I know we were talking about it, but it was like, ooh, there was a couple days of stress there. And then my boss called me, my new boss called me, and he was like, hey, officially going to send you the offer letter right now. This is the offer. And I was like, all right, sweet, accept. Super excited about that. And so I got 2 weeks off from my last day. Well, it's not quite 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks. Took 2 weeks, little break.
Did you do much breaking? I was curious about you. I was wondering if you were going to be able to like at least give yourself a day of nothing.
I mean, I don't do nothing well.
I know. That's why I was like, that's a good challenge. Did you give yourself a day?
what would a day of nothing be for me?
I don't know. What would it be, right? Like a day of nothing for me is like I get out of bed when I want to get out of bed. I just kind of fart around. Maybe I take a nap in the afternoon while I'm watching some TV.
I took a nap yesterday.
Did you?
I did. I was like, I think I need a bit of a nap. I wouldn't say that I haven't slept in because I still wake up early to work out.
Yeah.
Right. So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm up at 4:30 to work out and go do jujitsu. And then I sleep in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I don't get out of bed till like 5:10.
That's nice.
Right. It's a little extra time, a little 40 minutes for me, a little personal time. So I still did that. I worked on my project. So that's what I would consider like me.
Yeah. Downtime.
Right. Downtime is my CNC plasma cutter is getting real close.
Is it?
It's the frame is like it's all of the mechanical aspects of it are done. I am waiting on some wiring. I ordered the wrong wire because I'm dumb and had to send a bunch of stuff back that I ordered wrong. So I ordered new stuff. Unfortunately, that won't be here until I'm gone because I'm out of town next week, but to start my new job. But I've done a ton of work on that, cleaned my garage some. So like I've done some things around the house. Like I've enjoyed my time. I would definitely consider it more downtime.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really thought about work. I'm just kind of like,
Yeah, well, you said when we started, you took your watch off. I mean, that's
I
a
did.
big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah. So yeah, well, two reasons. I haven't really I haven't had the need to wear my watch. And, the weekend before my last day, I might have left my watch charger in Alabama at a wedding that I was at. So I don't really have a great way to charge it. And so ipso facto, I don't wear it a lot right now. But I really just kind of like relaxed a little bit. I mean, like I joked about it the other day. I was like, I worked in the garage, came to a point where I was like, I think I'm going to take a break. I like went upstairs, had some lunch, watched some TV for a minute. I like walk around, look at Jamie, like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm working. Leave me alone. I'm like, all right, fine. Like, whatever. So yeah, just kind of hanging out. And I am excited to get back to work. Not because it's just this new challenge that I'm excited to start.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. Looking forward to, and even is how bad I am. And I know that you're going to judge me on this a little bit. I don't start till Monday. And so my team, we've got 7 slots. We've got 6 team members on right now. I have already met 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was like, my boss introduced me to the team and just like, hey, here's an email introduction. I was like, hey, if you guys want to jump on a call, I'd love to do a little one-on-one just to get to know you a little better. So even though I'm not officially working, I've totally met with over half my team already to just shoot the shit, get to know you a little bit, like I want to, hey, what makes you, some stuff like that. So I'm excited for that. I got 2 of those today, and then I interviewed a new candidate for the role, and I have another interview today. So I'm like, I'm not working.
Kind of working. Yeah, that's good though. I mean, that's a good quality.
Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome. Like the team is like everybody I've met so far is super awesome. And I'm just really looking forward to like getting in and starting to like work on the problems that I like they have shared and I know that are like issues that we're going to do our best to solve. So I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds nice, dude.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I am excited as well. It will unfortunately mean that I probably have a little bit more travel.
Yeah.
We don't know yet, but we have to kind of like map all that out and see what I will be traveling a bit for the next couple of weeks just to like my onboarding is Monday through Friday in Denver. And then I've got I think the weeks after that, a couple of weeks of travel.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking that we should bring in some guest co-hosts.
Oh,
some local guys that we know that can come and hang out and fill in for Ben when he's starting this new gig.
Yeah.
I thought that would be fun.
I think that'd be super fun.
Right. There's a couple of guys that I have in mind.
Yeah. Who do you want to bring on
I want to see if Joe will come sit in.
Dude, I think Joe would be a great.
Right. I think that would be fun.
Right. It'd be awesome to get the perspective of somebody who was born in the 1800s.
Joe, we know you're not that old. I have massive respect for you.
I have lots of. You got to respect your elders. You have to respect the ancient ones.
But yeah, I thought that would be a fun way to kind of like fill in the gap there with some guest co-hosts, like it's like Regis and Kelly or something. Where you remember like when somebody would like go on maternity leave or something like that.
Maternity leave. I think Regis had a stroke or something. I don't know if that's true. It's just.
We've been watching the morning show. That's an old one.
That is an old one.
That very much is. That's not where I want to go though. I don't think it's still on. I think they're doing another season of it. But I was going to tell you, I am like officially off of caffeine.
Yeah.
Like
how's
this
that
road
going?
trip was one of those like real tests.
So what are you drinking right now?
That was just some tea.
There's caffeine in tea.
Not this kind.
It's caffeine-free tea?
Yeah.
It's just shitty brown water?
Kind of. With a little bit of lemon in there. But this was like a real test, this road trip, because it was like
road trip with no caffeine.
And like, all the driving and oh my God, we got to drive some more. No caffeine.
No stimulants?
Nothing.
You didn't have like a Zen or?
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was like the thing that I've noticed, because I started probably a week before April.
Yeah.
Because I know that we were going to do April 1st. And I think I started like the week before. That was the joke?
Yeah, April Fools.
Drinking the coffee now. It's good for you.
It is.
No, I'm really, really happy that I've stopped it. What I did notice, though, because I didn't struggle too much with it.
Yeah.
I had a couple of days there, probably like 5 or 6 days, where it was just that afternoon, like, I'm going to take a nap now.
Yeah.
And just would take a nap. But that's gone away for the most part. But I do think that it affected my belly. Like I usually have like a gut of still.
Yeah.
Like my stomach is very much like, I just don't get upset stomachs at all. Like I very rarely am ever.
Really?
Like,
so you feel like no caffeine has made your stomach
a little bit more susceptible to like some queasiness. And I think it has something to do with like the gut biome and whatever's taking place.
The bacteria in your gut right now is like, where's the fucking caffeine at?
They're revolting or something. They're staging a coup.
I got something for you. Let's just evacuate this as fast as possible.
You want to drink coffee? Fine, motherfucker. We'll show you who's in charge. So there's been a couple of those evenings where it's just like, oh, that might be a side effect of it. But I don't know. I don't know if that is or not. But
that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That you.
It's weird too because it's like it never bothers me. Like I can, every now and then, like if I legitimately eat bad food or something.
Yeah.
But it's
it's not one of those. And I'm very similar. I like a cast iron gut, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, you can throw whatever you want in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you go eat a bunch of shitty, like hot Mexican food, you're gonna know it.
Yeah.
But it's only going to be like, whoo. Like, well, I totally
you feel
ate that
a little
yesterday.
bit of steam coming off of
that. A little bit of steam. It's a little spicy.
Yeah. Yeah. But I had a couple, we went to this seafood place the first night that we were down there. And it wasn't bad seafood. I don't think anything was bad about it. But it wasn't like the greatest seafood place.
Okay.
Like normally I don't think there was anything wrong with it. I really don't think there was anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
But my belly was like, we don't really like this. And
how about no?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, I don't think I've had any real negative side effects. And I'm just like good with it now. It's not a big deal. I do enjoy, like there was at one point when we were walking around New Orleans and walking past like the dedicated coffee shop cafe place and the aroma was coming out. And I'm just like, baby, we got to walk faster. We got to move.
Yeah.
We got to get
I'm not going to be able to contain myself here in a minute. Yeah. That's awesome that because you're like 10 days in or something.
Almost 2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks. Yeah. That's awesome. Which is just huge, right? I think it's one thing to do to add something to your routine. I'm going to walk every day. I'm going to do this every day, right? I think it's harder to remove things from your daily because it's that habit that I've been drinking coffee. I bet I have had a cup of coffee 99.5 5% of the last 20 years of my life.
Yeah, same.
Right? I mean, even like deployed, like I woke up and like, yeah, like we figured out a way to make coffee.
Right. I always figured out a way to make coffee.
Yeah.
I always figured out a way. I remember I did a backpacking trip, that one that I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, into Yellowstone.
Yeah.
And even there, I was like, I took espresso beans with me
There you go.
that I could like chew on. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to take MREs come with a little pouch of instant coffee, and I would put it in my lip like tobacco and just let it sit there. And you're like, yeah, it's like the everlasting coffee stopper.
Yeah.
Right? It's like a Willy Wonka's coffee Jolly Rancher. That'll make you shit. 100%. Because eventually
that is one thing that has been affected as well. Because I had a really good morning routine for the last 20 years. So that's adjusted. That's in flux right now as well.
We haven't settled on a new regular, but
yeah, we're waiting to see what the new calendar is going to look like when it comes to the shits. But that's okay.
Listen, it's a unique experiment, right? That's awesome. I'm glad. Do you feel like what are some of the benefits that you've noticed? Have you noticed any benefits?
So far, I think that I do. When I say I think, right, it's kind of early to tell, right? Long-term benefits, or 2 weeks in, it feels like I do notice like I want to say that like my mind is a little bit less anxious.
Okay.
Like I'm not feeling the anxiety, throughout the day as much. I think that's starting to take place. But it's hard to say because I'm pretty fucking anxious still. Like my mind is still pretty racy and
You're
stuff
like, so instead of being here, we're here.
Yeah, I think I've come from dropped down from like a 10 down to like maybe a 9.3 or something like that.
Okay, so just a little bit.
Yeah.
0.7 or 7%.
Yeah.
Which could also be like you've taken a bit of a vacation.
Exactly.
Right? So it's like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I do think that like if I'm sleeping. Actually, I don't even know, dude. I think it's too early to tell any long-term benefits. But mentally, like I do feel like I still feel like it's a good decision for me. I feel incredibly like excited by it. I think it's the thing that my body definitely wanted and needed.
Okay.
Was to get off of it, and so I'm excited to see what happens. But
what do you feel like your intentions with this are? What are your intentions?
Well, I think that it's just clearing out the vessel. Like I'm just wanting to make this thing as clean as possible. That is happening. They got the message.
I got the message. Step one is underway.
Exactly. But that's really all that it is I just want to be as clean as I possibly can. I'm not interested in putting stuff in anymore that is there
is the goal like no more caffeine?
Yeah, done.
Just
no more caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Craig and on will be uncaffeinated.
Yes. Yeah. And it's not like, it's like, oh, I got 14 days. I got 363 days. No, I'm not going to be militant about it.
Yeah,
it's down the road if I want a little cup of coffee or something like that.
Would you have like a Diet Coke?
No.
Not a soda drink?
Soda is one of those other ones too that I've kicked years and years and years. And I had a pretty bad run with soda last year where we got pretty balls deep with it.
Oh, yeah? What kind of soda?
I used to be a Diet Coke guy.
Okay.
And then I got into my head about all the aspartame and all the chemicals and all the
just
crap.
Just regular Coke?
Yeah. So then I just started drinking Coke a lot.
Coke. Yeah.
A lot of Coke.
Do you prefer Coke or Pepsi?
Coke for sure.
Coke?
Yeah, I don't know who drinks Pepsi.
I don't know who drinks I like Diet Pepsi.
Steph's the same way. She's like, she hates Pepsi, but she likes Diet Pepsi.
Yeah, I like Diet Pepsi. I don't mind Diet Coke. I do like Coke.
Yeah.
Right? Coca-Cola. I think that I don't drink a lot of, we drink energy drinks, which I know is basically, they're sugar-free. They're with the white cans. Ultra. They're better for you. But we, occasionally I have a soda with as a cocktail mixer or something like that, but not a super regular thing. I'll have a Diet Coke. We drink a ton of water, but if we get a burger or something I'll normally get a Diet Coke with it.
Yeah, see, that's what was happening. It was like every time we would go out, I'm just going to get a drink. I just want a soda to go with this. And then it was like, I dawned on me, I'm like, I'm drinking 6 sodas a day or something. It was just like nonstop where it was like, oh, you know what would sound good right now? I'm just going to get some soda.
Yeah, I think I know I already had 2 of these, but I think a third would really hit the spot. I get that. Yeah. So,
but I kicked it last year, and I've been off of it for, I don't even know. It's been
a year,
not quite a year. It's been a little less than a year, and
that's
like
good.
that was the other thing that I noticed too. Because normally the same thing, right? We're out driving, nice long road trip. Oh yeah, pulling into the gas station, get me some soda, get me some beef jerky, and none of it was a problem.
That's good.
Yeah.
Did you? What is your favorite road trip snack?
It's a good question. I think beef jerky.
Solid.
Right. That's a great road tripping snack. Nuts of any sort. So honey roasted peanuts are one of my favorites.
Okay.
Like you give me some honey roasted peanuts and some peanut butter M&Ms and a Coke. I'm set.
I'm set, right?
Yeah. Mix them together. Trail mix. Any type of trail mix. Yeah. The honey roasted peanuts and the.
Do you like put it in like
butter
like,
M&Ms?
Like cereal with a Coke or?
Not the Coke. I'm not mixing the Coke with it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like just
the
like
nuts and the M&Ms.
pouring some Coke in there and eating with a spoon or something.
Just putting it all in the
Shaking
bottle.
it all up like Mentos.
Supposedly that's a thing where you put the peanuts in the Coke. Like that's supposed to be.
You put the lime in the coconut.
Mm-hmm. There's something about putting peanuts in a Coke, and that's supposed to be a thing. That's a thing.
I've never heard this.
You haven't ever heard about the peanuts in the Coca-Cola?
I've never heard about the peanuts in the Coke.
It's a thing. You could fucking Google peanuts and Coca-Cola and come up with a whole bunch of stuff. I've never tried it. Or maybe we did try it once. I can't remember, but yeah, give it a shot.
I'm gonna look into this a little later. Yeah. We don't
put this on the back burner.
Yeah, right. We don't eat a lot of peanuts. We eat a lot of cashews.
Yeah, cashews. We've been doing a lot of walnuts and pecans lately.
There you go, pecans.
Yeah,
it's very fucking.
I know,
right? Hoity-toity.
Exactly. We're living up on the east side.
Yeah,
with
right.
You're
over here, like, oh yeah, you got some peanuts. Yeah, right.
Cashews.
You guys want some peanuts? Oh, cashews. I prefer pecans.
So yeah, what about you? What's your favorite road trip food?
Ooh, I like layering salt and sweet.
Yeah.
So I'll have like a bag of Cheetos and then some peanut butter cups. And then I'll have some jerky. And then I want an apple. Right? It's pretty much what my nighttime snacks look like.
Yeah.
Because I like snacking. So I've really done my best. And I asked Jamie for her support in this is like, all right, well, if I'm going to eat something sweet, I'll eat an apple. Right? So I'll eat like a Honeycrisp apple. And then it's like, I want something a little saltier. I'll have 2 string cheeses, right? I want something sweet again. I'll go to a protein bar, right? And it's like this kind of like back and forth. And then depending on how far I get it down that snack train, then it's like, and to potato chips. So, but yeah, I like jerky. The only downside of jerky is I hate when you get all the jerky in your teeth. And then you drive it. It gives you something to do.
It does keep you busy.
Right? Keeps you busy. And you've always got your toothpick. So, yeah, I like that. And then caffeine.
Can't go anywhere without it.
I pretty much don't.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what life's like without it. I'm going to get really curious.
Let's go back to this real quick. So you're almost 2 weeks in no caffeine. You have, I just want to, nothing that's sticking out right now that has been a noticeable difference on the positive side for clarity or just how you're feeling in general, right? Mm-hmm. That you've been able to witness or observe.
Yeah.
Right. On the flip side, there was in the beginning some days where you were a little more tired, right? Because you didn't have that little extra boost.
Yeah.
We've got some irregularities in some
body functions
when it comes to how we get rid of things.
Yes.
And all right, so basically you're saying that no caffeine's all negative.
Well, it's 2 weeks. Like I got to give myself, I have to give that's the thing that when we were talking about this is it's like the fact that we've been drinking it for 20 plus years, right? And it's actually longer if we think that we've just been drinking coffee for 20 plus years. I mean, I've been drinking fucking soda my whole life.
Really?
Like I've been on caffeine
How old were you started drinking coffee?
Like consistently drinking coffee was probably like 18 or 19.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I started having a cup of coffee every morning when I was like 14.
Yeah. See, neither of my parents really drank coffee.
What was your soda as a kid?
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. Okay. I was a Mountain Dew guy.
Yeah, Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Mountain Dudes. But
I mean, soda, literally like my whole life.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was 6, 7, 8 years old, we've been drinking soda, going down to the gas station with called them comeback cups. Because it was a cup that you would bring back.
Yeah.
So you'd come back
like
with
a
the
big
cup.
cup. Yeah. Or like the
plastic thing.
Yeah, the big mugs.
We had a whole array of comeback cups.
Comeback cups.
Yeah. And it was like, we go down to the gas station. And my favorite one back in the day was the suicide drink.
Yeah.
Where you just go along and you pour a little bit of everything
in there. There you go.
Just mix and match down the line.
I remember I tried that for a while.
They're delicious.
I think I just made a bunch of shitty flavors, and I was like, "This is all bad."
It just tastes like sugar. Like it's just this sweet mixture of nothingness.
So I, as someone I like to do things, and I might have a tendency to do things in excess from time to time. So when I was like 16 or 17, I worked at a grocery store, and it wasn't even a grocery store. It was like a market, right? It was independently owned. They had a big butcher there, so like they would process deer and stuff like that, but their own butcher. Relatively small grocery store.
Okay.
Not a.
I don't know a lot of grocery stores that are processing deer.
This is Michigan.
Okay.
This wasn't like a Kroger's or a Safeway or like this is
just a local place.
Local place. It was actually called the White Lake Market, White Lake Supermarket. And there was a drink that was out for a minute, and it was supposed to when it came out, it was supposed to be like the Mountain Dew Surge, Sprite, kind of like whatever it's called, Sundrop. And they got a bunch of the stuff in, and it didn't sell, and they're like, all right, well, and it just like they were like, yeah, I don't even think they make it anymore, right? And they're like, well, we just got to get rid of this stuff. So they sold 2 liters for 59 cents.
Wow.
I bought all of them. So I literally bought like half a pallet of these 2 liters of Sundrop, and I would just like in the middle, like in the morning, I'd just grab one and be like, yeah, this is my drink for the day. And I would just walk around with a 2 liter of fucking citrus soda.
Getting my vitamins.
Drinking my Sundrop. And
kids are so stupid.
Oh, yeah. And the same thing happened. I did the same thing with when Code Red.
Yeah.
So when Code Red came out, Code Red Mountain Dew, that was right around the same time I had just got my license. And every time I would go get my snacks, I would, oh God, I remember this now. This is terrible. The Reese's Sticks came out at the same time as Code Red Mountain Dew. And I love both of those. Well, I don't drink Code Red Mountain Dew anymore because I'm an adult. But
Not a child. I drink regular Mountain Dew.
I can't even remember the last time I had a Mountain Dew. I like Squirt. I drink Squirts occasionally. Yeah. If I'm like, oh, I haven't had one of those in a while.
Right.
Maybe a Squirt. It's got its vitamins, it's healthy. It's lemon flavored, lemon and lime flavored. But I would buy a pack of Reese's Sticks and a 2 liter of Code Red. And that was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to drink right now.
See, that's the thing is I've been on caffeine my whole life.
Yep.
And so it's going to take a little bit longer than 2 weeks for me to figure out what happens to my body. Like my body has to go through this detox process of getting it all out of my system.
How long is that going to take?
I think it's going to take over a month. I suspect about 30 to 60 days of full detox before I actually start to see and feel the benefits from everything regulating all of those adrenal glands or whatever, all of that stuff has to take place. So it's going to be a long-term experiment.
I'm excited to check in, and we'll give it another like 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We'll check back in, see where you're at.
I think by the end of the month, I'll start to notice some things. Like I said, I feel like I have already starting to notice some mental chatter quieting. Like I'm not finding, usually I have like this real high pace of just going on in my head,
Yeah.
right? I'm kind of pegging at this 6 or 7 in my head the whole time. And
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's the case, but it could, like you said, it could be, obviously I just got back from vacation.
Yeah.
You know, I've been relaxing on a beach, you know, so those factors could be in there as
Sunburns.
well. Sunburns definitely baked some of it out of me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited.
I'm excited to check back in on this
Yeah.
and to share with our listeners.
I think it's going to help. Like, one of the real big things I'm excited for is the meditation game.
Yeah.
I think it's going to really change up the meditation for me.
Do you feel like you'll be able to get into a deeper meditation?
Very much so. Yeah. Like right now I'm meditating every day, but it's the type of thing where it's got, you know, depending upon the day, I'm in that nice little quiet, slow down space for 5 or 10 minutes before chatter starts really kind of getting intense. And I have to kind of start pushing back against it. And sometimes I can hang out a little bit longer. So I'm looking forward to hopefully that going away and being able to just settle really deeply into it.
Awesome.
So we'll see.
Like I said, I'm excited to learn more.
Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Heritage Still. If you're serious about quality in the kitchen, it's time to check out Heritage Still. All their cookware is handcrafted right here in Tennessee.
Heritage Steel isn't just another cookware brand. This is American craftsmanship at its finest, using high-quality, multi-clad stainless steel to give you unmatched durability, precision, and performance. Whether you're searing, sauteing, simmering, or good old-fashioned pan frying, these pans were built to last for generations.
Their cookware is safe for any cooking surface, it's easy to clean, and every piece comes with a lifetime warranty.
And right now, Brave Men Dare listeners, I'm talking to you. You guys can save an extra 10% off. Go over to www.heritagesteel.us/brave. Make sure you use the promo code BRAVE, all caps, to get that extra 10% off at checkout. Upgrade your kitchen with a cookware that's going to stand the test of time.
Heritage Still, chef-grade cookware for less.
I'm excited to check in on your mental clarity and your shits and just see where we're at.
Yeah. I'm hoping the shit's regulated.
Yeah. Like, what would you do if they didn't?
Just got to deal, dude.
Just deal? You want to just go back to the caffeine?
No.
Because like if you did a month and your shits were unregulated the whole time, right? Fucking free market shits, right? They're unregulated.
There's no tariffs on them.
No tariffs on these fucking shits. There's U.S. shits.
Yeah, I'm just going to regulate. I'm just going to let my body find its new normal.
But what if it doesn't? I mean, if your new normal is just unregulated shits,
then that's what it's got to be.
That's what it is?
Got to live with it. It's more grist for the mill. Got to figure it out. We live in a different world today than the last time we sat down in this podcast room.
We do. It is.
do.
There's been a lot of changes for everyone.
Right. We listened to this podcast on the way home that I was excited to listen to and educate myself about. But turns out, and I'm sure you've heard the news, that we now live in a world where dire wolves exist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Did you listen
exciting.
to the Rogan one
I
about
did.
it? Yeah, I didn't. I listened to the clip a little bit about
Yeah,
it.
I wanted to listen to the whole thing
Yeah.
because I wanted to get as much information as I could. And it's not good.
No?
Like, I'm excited that there's dire wolves, but I also feel like they're trying to tell us that it's not Jurassic Park, but then you listen to the guy who owns the company.
Yeah. You're like,
this is Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
no, listen. We've learned from Jurassic Park. We're not going to make the same mistakes. And then 5 minutes later, he's like, so anyways, we're taking this DNA from this thing, and we're mixing it in with this thing over here.
Yeah.
And then if we don't really like that thing about this thing, we'll just take that out, and then we'll splice in a little bit of this. And I'm like, I think I've seen how this one ends, guys.
Yeah. It
Fast
ends
forward.
with the Velociraptors. Yeah.
That are fucking insane.
Yeah.
And it's 100% Jurassic Park.
Have you seen the photo where it compares like I think it shows like a regular like average dog, and then it shows like a gray wolf, and then it shows a dire wolf, and you're like, oh fuck, like they're massive.
Yeah, they're big.
I think the thing, and then it shows it like compared to a human, like they're almost. I think it was almost it's either 6 inches or 12 inches taller in the shoulder, and like a dire wolf's like 7 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
That's how big like a Great Dane is. So a Great Dane and a wolf.
Yeah. I'm excited. So they've made 3 so far.
Yeah.
Like, how much do you know? You said you listened to the little clip.
I've listened to the little clip that they've created these things. I saw it I saw the video. There was 2.
Yeah.
They have 3 now.
So they've got the 2 boys, Remus and Ramus.
Yep.
And they're like 7 or 8 months old, right? And they're in their little. It's 100% Jurassic Park. I don't know how else to say it's not Jurassic Park, right? They're in their nice little preserve that they've created for them, right?
Yeah.
That's just for them. It's really nice. It's really secure. There's no threats. There's no danger. It's an off-site location that we're not telling anybody about. You mean like a fucking island? So there's 100% other things going on. They're just not talking about it. He keeps telling Joe, he's like, Joe, you got to come over. You got to check it all out. Sign the NDA. Yeah. Come over and check this out so you can see the fucking dinosaurs that we've made. But we're just saying that we made dire wolves, so it's all good. Don't worry about it.
26-foot tall fucking pterodactyl.
Right? 100%. Because they're talking about, like, throughout the entire episode, they were talking about all the things that they could make. We could make this, but we're not. We could make saber-toothed tigers, but we're not.
Yeah.
We could make all of these, but we're not. Trust us, because we're legit.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know. I just was listening to something they were talking about, and this is similar lines in just the world and science and all that. You can test now, genetic test a pregnancy. Like at 3 to 6 weeks, and down to like, this is how tall your child's going to be.
Yeah.
This is the hair color that your child's going to have, the eye color, right? And it's not 100%, but we're like, hey, we're 98% sure your kid's going to have, no hair, is going to be 5'1", and is going to have brown shitty eyes, right? Like, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with brown eyes. My wife has brown eyes. They're beautiful. Your eyes are a little brown. They're beautiful.
Yes, thank you.
Right? I just think about brown eyes and people who are full of shit. No. I have hazel eyes, which isn't even a real fucking color. It's static.
Probably should have gotten genetically altered at birth.
Well, that was the 80s. They weren't doing that stuff then.
So they've got the 3.
Yep, they got the 3.
2 males, the female. The female is only like she's still a pup.
Yeah.
She's only like 5 weeks old or something like that. So she's still small, little. And apparently the plan is to just let them live and hang out and do their thing. And
see if they start doing it.
Oh, I'm sure that at some point they're going to start breeding them, obviously, right?
Yeah.
That's why they did the male and the female.
Domesticated dire wolves.
But it's like, they were talking a lot about the woolly mammoth, so I'm sure they're going to do the mammoth, or already did the mammoth.
Yeah.
Right? That's the thing, is like, we've seen this show. Like, it's not a surprise. We know what happens.
There's a whole franchise of movies about this.
There's a whole franchise of movies about this. Like, he pretends like it's not that, and he tries to be like, yeah, we're totally legit. Like, we're doing all of these things above board. Like, we're making sure that we're doing this the right way. And I'm all, there is no right way to do this.
Yeah.
There's only the creepy fucking weird way where you start dinking around and making weird shit, and it becomes the Doctor of Island, or Dr. Moreau.
Yep.
That's all that this becomes.
Yep.
Is where you're like blending up different things to create different things and be like, it's all good.
I would love to see a woolly, you know what I really want? The giant sloth.
They've got DNA for that.
Right.
That's what was really fascinating. There were parts about the interview that were interesting about like how they were able to, what do they call it?
Like catalog or
like
extract or
something about the genome. How do they
read it expressed? I'm just using words.
I know we're terrible. How they scoped the genome. It's not the right
word.
Mapped the genome. There you go.
I got you.
So the way that they were able to grab those, and like there's a lot of, he talked a lot about museums all over the world that have basements full of shit that they don't even really know about. And they like go down there and they're like, oh, look, there's a whole head of this animal, or here's this animal that's been sitting in a tub of formaldehyde or whatever, right? We could probably get something out of that. So they've got a catalog that they've started to create of like all these genomes of all these different species. They talked too about it's the Tasmanian tiger. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah. That's extinct in like the early 1900s.
Yeah, it was like the 30s or 40s.
Yeah.
And so they're going to bring that thing back and let that thing loose down there in Australia, and just hope for the best.
Australia or Tasmania?
Tasmania. I don't even know.
It's an island.
I know, it's an island.
That's why there's not Australian devils.
How do you feel about it? What's your thoughts? Should we be doing this? Is this something that is the next level of humanity, or are we all fucked?
I'm going to go with, and this is my thought, I don't think we're all fucked. I think, I was actually thinking about this this morning while I was taking a shower, and I'll get into my thought here in a minute, but I think that the human conscious will overcome.
Yeah.
Right. I believe that what has put us to the top of the food chain in all scenarios, like, yeah, there's woolly mammoths. Like, Cro-Magnon, man, used to fuck up woolly mammoths left and right, right? Like, we'll be fine, right? Can a woolly mammoth, like, absolutely ruin some stuff? 100%.
Yeah.
Right? Would a Siberian tiger that was like, 12 feet long with teeth, like, will that mess some people up? Absolutely. Right? The weak will die. I think as a species, like, we'll continue to win, which happens in that franchise,
in
right?
Jurassic Park.
The human beings still overcome. But I think that at some point, like, we're always going to push the limits, right? There's never been a thing that we're like, oh, shit, like, don't do that, right? Like, even nuclear physics or like the nuclear programs, right? So we invented the nuclear bomb, and then we've like, all right, here's how you make nuclear power plants. Have you seen it's not I can't remember the name of it. It's the personal nuclear power plant.
No,
they have this guy. It just came out. It's in the shape of an egg, and it is it's 30% refined uranium or whatever like that. But it's your own personal nuclear plant. It'll power. It's like, it'll power a dozen homes for 150 years, and it's completely safe. You could, and it's not refined enough to make a weapon with it, but. That's, like, we're always going to push the limits of these things, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we did cloning in the 90s with Dolly, right? And like, yeah, we just keep kind of fucking with it a little bit, right? I mean, we got to the point where, even in this, we mapped the genome officially. I think they declared the human genome mapped in, like, it was sometime in the 90s, maybe early 2000, like 99 or something, 2001. We did that. And up till just recently, there was a company that you could send your DNA to that would be and tell you, like, you're 13% Italian or whatever, right?
That reminds me, I got to get mine off of there.
Yeah, you should totally do that.
Everybody's like, you got to go get your data
totally.
off. I'm like, it's done. What? It's just a lie. I'm pretending like I'm going to be able to go get my data back from 23. No, they're keeping that.
They're totally keeping that shit. Like, even all this stuff, like, oh no, they're fucking not.
Yeah, no.
Like, no one's records are fully ever expunged.
No, they're totally making a crack somewhere.
Totally. There's a backup somewhere, right? It's going to be fossilized in amber, amethystith or whatever, and somebody will find it in 100 years. Like, oh, look at all this DNA material or DNA information we have. I'm going to build the fucking Craig. But I think that, like, we don't know how to leave well enough alone because we're curious, right? Yeah. We want to push the limits on these things. So what's going to happen? They're going to like, oh yeah, we've got a whole fucking, sanctuary. We have a direwolf sanctuary where there's a dozen direwolves, and all of a sudden, like, they murdered everybody and got out, and now there's direwolves running around fucking Scotland or whatever, right? And you're like, oh shit, well, make sure you lock your doors. Direwolves are out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that, like, the part that I'm all for it. Truthfully, I'm all for all of it.
Do you just want a direwolf?
I do want a direwolf.
Yeah.
Like, how fucking awesome would it be to have a direwolf?
How much do you think they'd sell a direwolf for?
I mean, it's got to be $1 million at least.
Right now?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
well, right now
it's
way more than $1 million.
Right now it's probably $1 billion.
Yeah,
or some shit.
Like
Maybe
not
not
selling.
But maybe in like 10 years.
I don't think they're ever going to commercially sell direwolves. I think the goal is to
not with that attitude.
Not with that attitude. But the part,
could you imagine being the gray wolf that all of a sudden, like, the fuck is that thing? Being the pinnacle of the food chain, and all of a sudden, did you see that? It was massive.
Yeah. It'll be cool. I hope they do eventually get them to the point where they're reintroducing them into some place, right? Not supposedly, but I didn't know that the direwolf is native to America. Like it was here in North America.
It was like an apex predator here in North America.
Yeah. I didn't realize that.
I didn't know that either. I mean, I don't know.
This is the part that bothers me.
Okay.
So listening to the interview and listening to the guy talk about it, right? And they're just like playing science with DNA and dino DNA, mixing it up with different things, right? To make direwolves.
Dino DNA.
Yeah. So I'm fine with all of that. But then he started talking about how, because these ones, they used a surrogate in order to give birth, right? So I don't know what they put it in. Right. I don't think I got to that part of the episode. I listened almost to all of it.
Okay.
And I don't think they mentioned it. So whether they like impregnated another wolf or something, I'm assuming, but who knows? But they also, and this is the other thing, is all of their programming, all of their tech, all of their stuff, they're releasing open source. So everything that they're doing, they're sharing. So you can take it and do whatever you want with it.
Well, a lot of that, like CRISPR stuff, a lot of that's all out on the internet. Like, it's all very open source. I watched a documentary, like people are doing this shit in their basement.
Exactly. So he also talked about they're at a point where they're close to being able to no longer need a surrogate. Basically, just put these things in a bag.
In a test tube.
And they'll be able to bring them to full term in a bag. And so the next thing is they're going to start doing that with humans.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't say that. He's actually what he said, to be clear. He said the company, I think it's called Colossal or something. He's like, we've decided we're never doing anything with humans.
Yeah.
We're not doing any of this with humans at Colossal.
Yeah.
But all the information that we create, all of our programs, everything we're sharing open source. So there's going to be another company called...
Yeah.
Right.
Not Colossal.
Yeah,
that's a subsidy.
Doing everything with
yeah.
humans.
Like, we're totally funded by them, but we're not them.
Yeah, I think the fact that they can do it with a dire wolf and bring it back.
How do you think they pick that?
Picked the dire wolf?
Yeah.
He talked about it where it was like, I can't remember what was the inspiration for it, but it was literally
it Game of
just,
Thrones?
Yeah, Game of Thrones. Like the female is named Khaleesi.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be totally that. So there's a bunch of nerds who are like...
100%.
Well,
that's what the company is too, is it's just tech bros.
Yeah.
They're like not really any scientists. He says that we've got some scientists that are on board, but they're just tech bros that are programming AI stuff. And they're using all of that technology to do all of this work. And then they're like, let's make
AI. That's how Skynet's going to win. They're going to help us breed dinosaurs and direwolves. And the next thing you know, there's just going to be fucking raptors all over the place and direwolves.
Yeah, like I'm not like it's not some fear of mine that suddenly we've got to somehow
get a direwolf problem.
Yeah, combat the direwolves, right? How we've got a coyote problem. Like we're not going to have a direwolf problem.
I think a direwolf problem would be a bigger problem.
It would be a bigger problem.
I'm not worried about the sheep went missing. Like, has anybody seen Bob?
But I do think they're going to get to the point where they're, like you were talking about, where they're genetically modifying at birth or, before birth, and then also just making humans.
Yeah.
And he talked about it. Joe brought up the issue with like, there's benefit to like the way that we make babies today. And
it's fun.
It's not only fun, but the gestation and being inside the mother. And like that is a part of our developmental phase of being connected to the mom, emotions, hearing, all the different things that take place while you're in utero still, right? And if you're just in a sack in some laboratory, you're missing out on all of those things.
That's how you end up with Homelander.
Right? So I think that it's probably already happened.
Yeah.
I think they've probably already, whether or not it's Colossal on their island, Nublar or whatever.
It's not Colossal.
Right.
Not Colossal.
Right. But
LLC.
I think that it's already happened where we have created, not genetically altered. I think that was long ago. I think that was probably back in the 90s once we got the genome down.
Yep.
But I think they've already completely 100% created humans from...
You think so? You think
I think so.
You think test tube babies?
Yeah, 100%.
I wouldn't be surprised if they came out and they're like, oh, you know, Ryan Gosling's actually a test tube baby, right? And they're like, God, this way's so damn good looking. It's just so talented. I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's really hard to keep some of that stuff a secret. I mean, like, at the same time, like, if they're telling us about, here's what we've done, and they're okay sharing the information, we made dire wolves.
Right.
Like, what have you tried to make that didn't work? Or what have you made that you're like, fuck, great job in making this team. We can't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, we brought back land sharks, right? Or street sharks. You're like, what? You're like, yeah, we crossed bodybuilders and sharks. Street sharks. It's awesome.
He did talk too about they have the ability now, or like in a very short time, like next week or something, like basically they've got the ability now to know, because it used to be like you had to have something more than just like you had to have like bone, or you had to have some significant amount of the sample in order to get enough of the genome or the DNA or something like that. But now they're able to just do it with blood. So it's very simple. You just need blood sample, and you can do it with that. And that, I think, is going to be like, that's a big deal.
Did you ever watch The Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where they make there's clones of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No.
Is it the sixth? Yeah, it's the sixth day. I want to say he's it's like in the future, but it's cloning, but they have all these like pre-grown bodies that are just frames, and then you layer on your genetic material, and then it like makes that body take your shape or whatever. And but they have a way to like record your mind and imprint it on the new one. So
Interesting.
In the movie, like a football player, a quarterback named Johnny Utah or something like that, takes a real bad hit and dies. And they're like, oh.
I remember this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got some vague thing kicking around back there. Yeah.
But they, I think, I mean, I could see where there's benefits to some of this stuff, right? Like, it also, it's like the movie The Island. I don't know. Genetics is such a huge fucking area. You know?
Yeah. And I think, like I said, I think we're at a point with it, with AI and everything else that we have the ability to do, that it's just made it all that much more simpler. And so now it's just going to be like, I think we'll 100% have, and I don't even think it'll be something that like, it'll be in secret for a long time, and then it'll come out that we've done it for a while, and then and then it'll just be the normal thing where there'll be humans that are created that way.
Yeah. I mean, the upside to it is, I think there's I think everybody would do things with the best intentions.
I don't.
You think people would do things just to like, can we mix an octopus and a human?
100%.
Tentacles.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that the original idea would be like, yeah, I'm going to help so we can grow a heart for little Bobby who's, on the transplant list, and we're going to give him his own heart.
Yeah.
Right? I think that would be like, that's the science side that you're like, this is fucking awesome. Right?
Yeah, or like you were saying, like we're mapping, at 6 weeks old, we can see all these markers for these things and then change them. And he also talked about that too, where there'll come a point where we're able to do that in grown adults. And he's like, that's not too far off.
I mean, that's
where you're going to be able to do the shifts and changes and take this block out and put this block in.
Isn't that kind of like what the MNRA does?
I don't know, dude.
I don't know either. This is way beyond my scope of knowledge. But I thought that's like, because the big difference between like all the other vaccines that we've done and stuff like that, antivirals, those are like dead viruses. So we're teaching the body how to manage this, or we give them a little bit of like the bacteria so the body learns how to fight it, something like that. And the big difference between like that and the COVID vaccine was, I believe, and do not quote me on any of this, it was like an mRNA, and it was literally a virus that would update your genetic material with new genetic material to help fight and combat that.
I think that's probably, right.
Not a scientist.
Whether that was conspiracy or whether that was the case, or who knows.
Ivermectin. All I can think about now is this whole thought is like, I make nothing from this after I pay my scientists some baby Billy. I love those clips.
What's that?
This is from what's the show or the movie? It's about the family that's like the mega church family or whatever.
Oh, the Righteous Gemstones.
Yeah. The Rising Gemstones, and then it's got Walter Goggins?
Yeah,
and he's baby Billy, right?
He's so
like,
good.
He's like, I just do this because I want to. I want to do. He's like, but after I pay my scientists.
Yeah, he's the best.
He is the best.
I love him in everything. He I fell in love with him back with
Justified.
Justified.
Man, we were just talking about this yesterday morning with the guys working out.
Yeah,
like Justified. It's great show.
It's so good.
Yeah, I think because he just finished White Lotus, and I haven't finished it yet, but I hear it's really good.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get into that one.
No.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of the other ones?
Mm-mm.
No, they're not bad.
Yeah,
I like them. Yeah, genetics, man, it's crazy.
it is crazy.
It really is.
It's going to be exciting to see some dinosaurs next year. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I want to go. What I think would
do you think
really,
dinosaur tastes good?
I'm sure it does. They also talked about that too, where somebody was like, "How can we? I want to eat one. Can we eat one? Can we eat a dire wolf? I want to know what a dire wolf tastes like." And I'm like, but I think what would be really interesting is to see what dinosaurs actually looked like, because I think we would be really surprised by all the things that we think they look like.
This giant chicken comes out, and you're like, man, we were way wrong.
I think that's the reality, is they're going to look very, very different than we think.
I mean, that would be the best way to do it, right? And that's the hard part, is like we're never able to observe that, so we don't know. We're best guess, right? But man, could you imagine if they're like, all right, we're going to breed these dinosaurs, and the fucker comes out pink, and you're like, what? And they're like, yeah, pink. Apparently dinosaurs love fucking fluorescent colors.
They didn't know that the dire wolves were white.
They didn't?
Like that was something that they didn't
Weren't
know.
they white in the...
I think they were just white in Game of Thrones because they were from the north. I mean, I think they were
that
just...
makes sense.
Yeah.
That would make sense if you're surrounded by snow. You'd normally be white like polar bears.
Yeah.
Do you know polar bears can swim like 400 fucking miles?
Yeah.
Do you know polar bears can sleep in the water on their back and just take a fucking nap?
They're crazy.
That's fucking intense.
Apparently their fur is hollow.
Really?
Yeah.
Their fur, like it's a hollow,
like the actual
strand of hair or fur.
Something to do
hair,
with like that's why their ability to swim and whatnot.
They've got very buoyant hair.
Don't fact check any of this, by the way. Yeah, the latter part of this entire episode, go listen to smarter people talk about this.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think, man, what other things could they make besides dinosaurs?
That's the thing, is like
woolly mammoths.
Everything.
Like, I mean, I guess like if you made woolly mammoths, like, could you solve the hunger crisis with that?
They're not that big.
Woolly mammoths?
Yeah, they're like...
I thought woolly mammoths were like giant compared to elephants.
They're like, because there's the African elephant and then the Asian elephant.
Yeah.
They're a little bit bigger than the Asian elephant, but they're not even as big as the African elephant.
What?
Yeah.
I'm going to fact check you right now on this, because
that's what the owner of Jurassic Park said.
That's true.
That's what the not creepy guy who owns a tech company that is now making direwolves said.
Mammoth.
Yeah, they're not that big.
Size.
I mean, they're big. Elephants are big, right?
Male shoulders reach 10 to 12 and weigh between 6 to 800 tons.
Yeah, tusks are huge. Like their skeletal structure is different and all those kind of things.
Here's a comparison. Oh, yeah, look at that. They're not that fucking...
Yeah. Yeah, they're not the, mammoth like you think of, this ginormous
Yeah, what is this
creature.
Yeah, the African... Oh, okay, well, there was an African mammoth. There's a pygmy mammoth. It's a bullshit mammoth.
Bullshit mammoth.
There's a Cretan dwarf mammoth. Anyways, fucking all kinds of different... Apparently there's like 10 different species of mammoths.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. The fucking mammoth, man. I feel totally like just let down that the woolly... Now, there are like steppe mammoths that are larger.
Yeah.
Right? So the steppe mammoth is larger than the African elephant or the Asian elephant. But yeah, the woolly mammoth's right between those two. Fucking Ice Age movie.
I know.
Totally fucked me up on this. I for sure was like, if you were like, how big is a mammoth? Giant.
Yeah.
Crush elephants. Right? This is my fucking yard. Get the fuck out of here, you baby elephant. Bullshit.
I was going to say one other thing about it too. I didn't realize that because they talked about the red wolf. Have you heard of it? You know what the red wolf is?
I mean, it's a wolf that's red.
Right.
Okay.
It's just another type
It's
of wolf.
expired, right?
Not yet. Not extinct.
Extinct, not expired.
It's not expired.
Yeah, it's bad. Throw it out. This one's gone.
It's not good anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah. But apparently they are, like, there's some in Louisiana and North Carolina.
Okay.
So we've got them over here in this part of the country.
Huh.
And they're doing the same thing with red wolves.
Trying to get more and more of them.
Yeah. So they're not.
See, this is the area that I am like, animals, species have been going extinct since the beginning of time on their own natural rhythm, right? I understand that and part of this is like, yeah, us humans, hey, we hunted all the fucking rhinos. There's no more rhinos. Rhinos. Bring back fucking rhinos.
Yeah, I'm sure
right?
they
Like
will.
the fucking black rhinos, the white rhinos, the fucking giant rhinos, the pygmy rhinos. But because of overhunting and poaching and all that, like, yeah, a apex predator came into an area and fucking wiped out that population. That's been happening for millennia. They've never brought anything back. Right. And that's where, like, maybe they come back and you're like, oh shit, dire wolves carry fucking diseases that just kill fucking humans left and right. And then it's, zombies.
Yeah, he's got an answer for that. He was like, we're making sure because we'll test and we'll be able to adjust this in the little genome sequencer or CRISPR or whatever. And I'm just like,
you are fucking selling me pseudoscience.
That's what it is. It's just, freaking tech bros that are doing whatever they want with AI now.
God damn.
Asking ChatGPT to make a dire wolf. And Chat's like, okay, what color would you like your
Grunk's
dire
over
wolf?
here just like, the fuck do you say?
Yes. It's exactly what's happening.
Well, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how all that goes. Yeah, I don't know.
It's an interesting world.
It is an interesting world.
Right. We're going to have flying cars soon. I'm excited for my hoverboard. That's all I ever wanted.
You're like, I'm just waiting for the hoverboard.
I'm just waiting for the hoverboard season to come.
I mean, have you seen some of the they're not really flying cars, but the personal drones now?
Yeah.
Right?
Those are cool.
Those are
I'd be
cool.
down for those.
Yeah. I was trying to convince Jamie that I should get a helicopter.
Just wait and get the drone.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's the new midlife crisis. Instead of a motorcycle or a sports car, get your flying drone.
You get a personal drone.
Yeah.
That you can get in.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah. It'd be super fun. I really want an airplane.
Yeah. You want to do like the pilot's license and the whole 9 yards?
Yeah. I mean, I've got like almost 4,000 hours in the back of a helicopter. Like, I understand all the physics and how, like, I've flown a helicopter.
Yeah.
Right. I think I'd be fine.
I think you would too.
Yeah. And she's like, small airplanes crash all the time. I'm like, well, I mean, just don't do that.
Just don't crash.
Try to hit something soft. But I think a helicopter, because then you go anywhere you want.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, fuck you. Can't get me.
On our road trip down there, we were talking about, because I've been seeing a lot of these reels pop up where guys are like, why can't you just go up in a helicopter and wait for the earth to rotate and then come back down wherever like if you go up from, like if you wanted to go over to, like, you could just get over to my house by
just coming up and waiting for everything to spin and then
wait for the rotation and then come back down.
Yeah.
So we ChatGPT'd it. And
that's not how it works.
Not only is that not how it works, but I don't really know if I like Chat's explanation.
What did Chat say?
Because it was essentially like, we're all in this atmosphere together. And so because we're in this atmosphere, then even if you go up, you're still in the atmosphere in a sense. So in order for that theory to work, you'd have to go outside of the atmosphere. So you'd have to go like into space and just hover there and then come back down because you're still within the atmosphere of the earth.
Yeah, I could see some of that.
So
the hard part is like when you start talking about like how do you get into orbit, right? It's all about how fast you can go because you're falling around the curvature of Earth, which I think is like I think it's 1 meter for every 5.2 kilometers. Every 5.2 kilometers you go, the Earth drops 1 meter. So you need to fall faster or go faster than that, so you can fall around. That's orbiting, but for a helicopter, like you take off, right, and you're up here. It's very. I know what they're talking about, like the atmosphere, but everything is spinning, right? The clouds that we're part of, the air that we're in is spinning. Mm-hmm. It's not the Earth spinning inside the atmosphere. It's all of that spinning together.
Yeah.
And helicopters, when they leave the ground, are still dealing with the air around them. And if all that air is going the same speed of the rotation of the Earth, then you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Science.
Theories of operation. I just like helicopters.
I think they're cool. I want to fly in one.
You want to fly in one?
Yeah.
I think, I mean, they've got their ups and downs.
Good luck next week, dude.
Thanks, man.
I'm excited to hear about all the new things with the gig and how everything goes. And
yeah,
it's going to be cool.
I think it's really funny that my last company I went to Denver all the time, and now my new company is also in Denver.
Right.
I was like, well, I know the fucking airport real well.
That's right.
They were like, oh, yeah, we're right next to Snooze. I was like, oh, Union Station. I was like, yeah, I totally know that whole area. She's like, really? I was like, I go to the ice cream shop over there. She's like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I know the area. So it'll be fun.
It'll be cool.
Awesome, man.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Another episode of Brave Men Dare. Go subscribe and follow us wherever you can find us. Currently, that's on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Also on YouTube. I forgot to tell you, we had a one of the reels that blew up on Facebook. It's almost gotten 1 million views.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you're a new follower on Facebook, hello, welcome. We're glad you're here. It's that one with Owen Wilson, that funny one about the doctor told you to.
Oh yeah, and he's unwrapping his face or whatever. Yeah.
Take 6 weeks off before you can go back to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, the day I had neck surgery, I came back the day they were like, yeah, you can get into activity slowly. I went to jiu-jitsu that night.
Yeah.
6 weeks after neck surgery, back at it. It's fine. I'm okay.
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Love you, dude.
Love you, bro.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Brave Men Dare. If you haven't yet, take a moment and subscribe to our channel, click that little notification bell, and check out some of these other clips. Last but not least, we'd really appreciate it if you sent this podcast to somebody else. Share it with a friend, share it with a buddy, and don't hesitate to reach out. The conversations that we have on the podcast are meant to inspire you, but also we want to hear what it brings up for you. Whether you share it in the comment, send us an email, or call us up. But thanks for being here, and we'll see you on the next episode.